Welcome to this edition of January's 18th podcast. It is the William Hathaway Show, and today I'm honored to have a very special guest, our very own NBA insider, Cooper Acheycheck. This is not the last time you'll be hearing his name. He'll be on the show much more as we progress. Coop, how you doing?
Well, I'm good. I'm honored to be here, and let's get down to business.
Yeah, all right. So you were telling me about some topics earlier. I was skiing with you earlier. You were talking about your MLK, how you were watching basketball yesterday. What game, as you were watching yesterday, intrigued you the most?
First off, I'm just gonna say on SportsCenter that Russell Westbrook dunk was kind of nasty.
Yeah.
Freaking posterized the guy. But I was at the Garden in New York City, and MLK Day is a very special day for New York basketball.
Yep.
Obviously, with the with a lot of like the NBA being African American, it means a lot for them to be there and stuff. So before the game, the mayor of New York City came out and gave a speech, which was like great and stuff. I wasn't paying as much attention as I should be.
Yeah, I didn't see Eric Adams, but I did hear that he did go out there. I heard Jaylen Brown's speech. Did you hear that by any chance?
Yeah. I saw it on SportsCenter this morning.
Very powerful.
Yes, yeah.
He was one of the main people to be social rights during the bubble and all that.
Mm-hmm. So, back to the Knicks game here. So, Eric Adams gives a speech.
Yep.
The Garden was sold out. The place was rocking. But Miles Bridges, man, he had 38 points, 28 in the first half. He was just on fire, shooting amazing, playing lockdown D. It's like it seemed like he couldn't miss out there. Even with LaMelo Ball out, the Hornets were won by 10, which was kind of surprising because the Knicks came back, so they're down by at least 20 at some point. And also, Scary Terry Rozier dropped in a couple like 20. And on the Knicks side, the losing side, my Knicks, RJ Barrett and Julius Randle each dropped in 18 points.
All right, yeah. Okay, so I want to ask you a question here about the Knicks. Are they ready to make a big trade for like De'Aaron Fox or Bradley Beal?
Yeah, I believe so. The Knicks are a very deep team. You know, we got our starters, RJ, Julius Randle. We got Kemba on our bench. But like, you know, we have our rookies, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, like the young guys. I don't see those people going. But two people that I could see being moved in a trade would be Alec Burks, who is definitely a solid shooter, solid defender, can just play everywhere pretty well, can shoot the three ball, and Kemba Walker in a trade package, maybe with like a pick or two. Maybe the Knicks can get back like some like a little bit of star power that they need. Or maybe they could like separate them. So like we could get some draft pick back because obviously for the Cam Reddish trade, I think that's an absolute W. Giving up Kevin Knox and a Charlotte Hornets protected first round pick, so it's not going to be top like 15. And we got back a solid contributor on offense. He's getting there with his shooting. It's Cam Reddish.
I like it. Now that leads us into the next topic you wanted to talk about. You told me, and that was NBA trade talk. Yeah. Of course, there's Ben Simmons. We've heard a lot of talk around him. Where do you think he ends up after the trade deadline goes down, or whenever the Sixers decide to move on with him or keep him? Where do you think right now he will land?
Obviously, it's either gonna be two slots. It's gonna be he stays in Philadelphia. He gets his crap together, and him and the Sixers can start playing good Eastern Conference basketball again. But the other place I see him going is Portland. The Portland Trailblazers are in need for help. Damian Lillard cannot do it all by himself here, and so Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, they cannot do it all by themselves. They need depth and stuff, so I could see Ben Simmons being maybe packaged with like Tobias Harris in return for like some picks and just role players.
Okay, I like that. Now, I don't know if you knew this. I maybe assume you do. Ben Simmons or Damian Lillard is out right now. He's out with that injury.
He's out with the sprained something.
Yeah.
He's out 6 in April and June.
Yeah, okay, so I was thinking about that. So I have a question for you. Do you think Damian Lillard has a chance to go?
What's that?
Do you think Damian Lillard has a chance to go, Cooper? To leave Portland maybe after this year or even at the trade deadline? Because right now, Portland's not looking great in the Western Conference. Do you think they decide to maybe move on from him?
I believe that if Portland's interesting. Damian Lillard, we all know he's their star player. He's definitely their franchise. But I could see them leaving, like I was saying, maybe they would get a superstar like Brad Beal, somebody who's a little bit less injury prone. But because Damian Lillard's contract's obviously kind of huge, so the Portland Trailblazers are gonna need that a lot as they're sinking fast because they have a lack of depth in the conference.
I like that. About that, I want to talk a little bit about the Lakers right now, and they stand at 22-22. You mentioned Russ's dunk. They played the Jazz last night. They played the Jazz last night. They played a really good game. Do you think the Lakers could get back in the conference? Kind of.
I believe the Lakers had a sluggish start. The LeBron, AD, Westbrook connection wasn't clicking as much. But I feel like after that game, LeBron is finally talking to the media. But after that game, I feel like it's that game against the Jazz, which the Jazz are a solid team. I feel like that's a get right game for the Lakers, and maybe they could go on a run and become a 4 or 5 seed in the West.
I agree. Now the connection didn't seem to be there, as you said. Is there a possibility for a trade of Russ at this point, as you see them sitting at 22-22, middle of the pack in the West? Do you see a trade kind of going right there?
I don't really see it happening, but I guess there's always a possibility for them getting traded because Russell Westbrook, I think he's finally getting settled in. But if they go fall back, they just cycle all the way back to where they were at the beginning of the season, not connected. I could see him being traded for another player.
All right. Now that takes us into our last topic we're going to cover on the interview, your hot take. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a few questions about the NBA, and you're going to answer them with your answer. Do you buy or sell them? Okay. Buy or sell De'Aaron Fox to the Knicks at the trade deadline?
Buy.
You buy it. You buy De'Aaron Fox to the trade deadline.
I was just talking about Kemba and Bugs and a pick. That's a 4-star value in 2K. Some people know what I mean. But you can probably get back a pretty good contributor, and De'Aaron Fox is definitely one of those guys.
Yeah, I agree. So when you that's a good point. The next question I have: do you buy or sell Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown? The Celtics move on from at least one of them at the deadline.
No, they hold on to him.
Yeah, okay.
They don't hold on to him. Celtics have been playing pretty good basketball lately, and Jaylen Brown is just a spark plug, and Jason Tatum, all we know, he can just bring that superstar factor in the game and be a game changer.
It's Cooper Acheycheck on the William Hathaway Show. We have a few more questions for him before we let him go. I think 2 more questions. One of the last two questions I have is, what team is the team to beat in the West right now? Because you got the Grizz, you got the Warriors, and you got the Suns. What's the team to beat?
I don't even think this is a question, Will. The Phoenix Suns. They're 33-9 as of this moment. I'm pretty sure they're 33-9 at this moment. Chris Paul is going out there averaging freaking 10 assists a game, 15 points, 5 rebounds. He's doing what he has to do. And Devin Booker, man, he's been putting up elite numbers. 30, 25. He put up 48 last night.
And real quick before we let you go, just give us a quick answer here. Who's the team to beat in the East?
The team to beat in the East is the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls coming off a lackluster season last year. They brought in some superstar talent like DeMar DeRozan, and they brought in some key roles like the ball Mamba himself, Alex Caruso. They've been playing really well lately, and the Chicago connection's just clicking. And I think they will finish as the top 2 team in the East.
Thank you, Cooper, for joining us. That's